Welcome to the Simpler Business Podcast, where we talk about ways to do what you love and serve your people in a way that brings you income and freedom. I'm your host, Marissa Roberts. Join me as I chat with my favorite entrepreneurs about how they simplify their biz so that you can simplify yours. Do you ever feel like you're supposed to follow a certain path just because it's the safe or expected choice? Or think that the only way to find success is to do what you see other successful people doing? Have you ever really had the chance to sit down and think about your life and career and whether what you're doing actually makes you feel really, really good? When you're an entrepreneur, real magic can happen if you ditch the conventional ways or the things that you're not excited about and just follow the pathway that feels really good for you. Trusting your gut, embracing what you enjoy, making the choices that fit you, not the mold, can make a really big difference in the success of your business and your level of contentment with your life. My guest today made a courageous decision to leave behind her corporate career in European finance and policymaking to pursue her passion for writing and storytelling. Embracing sobriety has positively impacted her life, leading to better physical and mental health, increased confidence, and a simpler lifestyle. And today she is here to share some valuable insights and practical tips for anyone looking to pursue their passions and thrive as an entrepreneur. Suzanne Frear is an expert in creative copywriting and messaging that connects. She has the unique gift of taking her clients' brain dumps and crafting them into bright, shining copy that grabs the reader's attention and holds it. Suzanne works with clients across the globe, from VIP entrepreneurs to change-making nonprofits, and she always brings her insightful talents and professional approach to every brief. I'm excited to chat with Suzanne today because I think we can fall into a pattern of feeling like we need to do things a certain way or follow somebody else's path to success or play by somebody else's rules or try and fit in with people around us. And frankly, that's no way to live. I think the better you feel, the more your business is going to thrive. And these days we have the tools and the opportunities to build a career in whatever area or industry we really enjoy. So welcome, Suzanne. I am really, really excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to speak to you on the other side of the world, literally.
I know, we're at two totally different ends of the day, and yet we managed to make it happen. It's very exciting when things come together like that. So thank you for being with me so early for you.
My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
All right. So this is going to be a really fun conversation because I think what's missing a lot of the time in business talk and business podcasts is that blend of business with you as a person and what's going on in your heart and your mind. We do hear a lot of people talking about business and lifestyle, and hey, we all love that. Every one of us at some point wants to be on an island making money while we're sipping a Mai Tai, but that's not necessarily the answer for anybody, right? Or everybody. So I think it's really nice if we have a chance to focus on what actually makes us happy, what actually feels good in the running of our business, because I think that's why people start their own business, right? Because they want that freedom, they want that flexibility.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the big reasons I went from corporate to running my own business was, as people say, to design a life that I love. And, you know, whilst the corporate world is becoming more and more flexible, you're still working for someone else to someone else's rules. And so the idea of working for yourself, it is a freedom, absolutely, but it's also it is hard work. And you know, making it how you want to live it is not as easy as it sounds when you're trying to achieve everything, and that is what you have to be in business. You have to be absolutely everything. So yeah, it's finding ways to do it on your terms, with what you're happy with, and that's what's really important. That's the only way to find any kind of balance. People talk about work-life balance. You can't concentrate. You can't split yourself evenly. You can't. You have to be in one zone or the other. So it's finding what works for you, and that's what's worked for me. Just finding that balance in my own way rather than what everyone else tells me. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think, you know, as people, we're the ones that know what our balance is going to be, because that balance is going to look different for everybody, and it's going to look different for us at different points of our lives too.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And one thing for me was was sort of leading an example. I wanted to show my daughter like that you can live your dream, you can do what you want to do. I remember I've always loved writing, and that's one thing I'd always wanted to do throughout my life. But always, you know, I didn't see a way of making money from it apart from writing novels, which is way harder than people make it look. There's some amazing authors out there that just seem to do one every year, and it's amazing. And I would love to do that. That would absolutely be my dream. And I'd spoken to my daughter about this. But off I went. I was in the corporate world, and I was earning good money, and I was happy in my job. I loved what I did. I was good at what I did. And then things changed a couple of years ago, and for a lot of reasons to do with Brexit, when the UK left the European Union, it changed how I worked and how I could work. And so it forced me to take a look at what I was doing and reevaluate what I wanted to do with my life. And my husband and I chatted, and we decided it was a good time that I could make a go of this. I could see if he could make it work. So I'd been doing a little bit of copywriting on the side, writing blogs and newsletters for businesses I knew. And I thought, well, I know that business is out there. I know that people have spoken to me. So as I say, I decided to give it a go. And I just remember when my daughter said to me, what is it you're doing now, Mummy? And I said, oh, I'm writing, basically. And she literally was like, woohoo, you're doing your dream job. I'm so pleased for you. That stays with me. That sort of example to her that you can do your dream job. It might not conform to what you think society wants you to do, to follow the 9 to 5, to work your way up a ladder. You can do what brings you joy, and that is so important to me and to show to her and to my son as well. But she's the oldest one, so she got it when I changed jobs.
Yeah, I think that's such a powerful thing too, is, you know, to have that driving force be, I want to set an example for somebody that I love. I want to show them that it's possible. And it kind of gives you that feeling of, doesn't matter what it takes, I am going to show them that it is possible. Like I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let it slide. You know, it's going to make you happy, but it's also going to be a great experience for them because it's opening up an entirely different world of possibilities for them in their future as well.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting you use that word, the phrase opening up. And I know that you obviously mentioned it in the introduction to here, that a big part of why I'm where I am today is because I decided to stop drinking. Now, I don't identify as an alcoholic. That wasn't where I was. I wasn't spending all my money on alcohol. I wasn't drinking in the morning. I wasn't living life in the gutter as we see a typical alcoholic, how we view them. You know, there are different ranges. Alcoholism is such a wide and varied thing. There is no one program fits all. And for me, I just had a bad relationship with alcohol. I didn't have an off switch, and I would say I looked forward to drinking way too much. It was definitely a treat. It was something that, like, my day would not so much revolve around, but it's like, when does 7 o'clock hit? When can I have that drink? So I decided about, it was coming to 3 years ago, to stop, because one thing, I was fed up of the hangovers, without a doubt, the anxiety, the regret, the self-hatred, all of these things. I went on the journey of improving myself, really. I started to journal. I started with a coach, a counselor, and I've learned so much about myself. And one of the biggest things is that word, biggest, and the space. And I live a much bigger life. I do so much more stuff. I am way more confident than I was before, because I'm not relying on this crutch of alcohol to get me through certain situations. And I think what it's taught me, the fact that I gave up alcohol, which was for me a big thing, you know, it took willpower. It wasn't that I only had 1 or 2 drinks during a week. I drank quite a lot. And so that actively deciding to stop was a big act of willpower. So proving to myself how strong I am, that I could do this, gave me the confidence to move through life and then think, yeah, I'm going to start my own business, and I am going to make this work, and I'm going to gather the tools, and I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn to be a solopreneur, to do it on my own. And then, hopefully one day you'll grow. But starting off, you have to start alone. No one can just take on a team straight off. And so it's that combination of things. It's proving something to myself, living that larger life, but not having the boundaries in place that alcohol gave me. And this is only my own experience. I am not speaking for anyone else that might have any issues with alcohol, but this is how I saw my life at the time. But taking that, growing in confidence, and just taking the plunge and then working damn hard to make it work has been just the journey of a lifetime over the past few years. And I've not looked back without the alcohol, and I can't stop looking forward with my business. It's just an absolute joy at the moment.
I really love how the letting go of things has opened up your life to be able to actually receive a better version of what you want, because, you know, you left the career in finance and policy making, you let go of the alcohol. You know, it might not be easy. It's very simple, but it's not easy to do. So it's something that you've got to keep, it's like you've got to keep making that decision over and over again at first, right? So I can understand that it's not an easy letting go, but I do love how it's almost like it's helped you create that balance of being able to then free yourself up and go, okay, now I can be me. I can be the real me. I'm not hiding behind the haze of something else. I can really tap into what makes me happy, or where my own creativity lies. And that's a really beautiful thing.
This is it. And it was rediscovering who I am. Mm-hmm. As is the norm, definitely here in this country. Obviously, I'm not sure what it's like over in Australia, but, you know, it's so normal in society for kids to try drinking with parents, to look forward to coming of age when you can drink on your own, to drink to excess before you're probably of age. And it's so normal, you know. It's not, yes, it's illegal to drink before the age of 18, but it's not frowned upon that much. You know, it's just like, you know, you need to wait until you're old enough. And the more you can drink, the better person you are. You're a night out. Look how much they can take, or how much fun you are when you drink. Mm-hmm. And because of that, because of this normalcy through society, that's how I defined myself. I was good time girl. I mean, when I had some drinks and I was loud and I would dance and I was, you know, first at the bar, or, you know, it was very much who I was. I loved going out and I loved having a drink. So deciding to stop that, I had to rediscover who I was, absolutely. And I've been surprised at how I can find joy, how there is so much joy in just the tiniest and the simplest of things. Exactly that, little moments. I was walking the dog the other day. I walk the dog every day, which is one of my absolute joys. I adore walking the dog. If I didn't get to do that every day, I think I'd go slightly insane these days. But we go out for an hour, and obviously the weather is just finally getting better here in the UK. And I walked down a path I'd not been down for a couple of days, and the leaves had changed, and the buds are starting to unfurl. And just that tiny thing, taking that moment to notice it, and just feeling like the wonder of the world, which sounds a little bit over the top, but it was wonder. It was like, oh wow, look, you know, everything's waking up, everything is starting to grow. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I honestly don't think I'd have taken that 3 seconds, 5 seconds just to notice it and have a moment and just breathe the air around me, just little things like that. And
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from. Those little moments, I procrastinate on those moments because I'm traditionally a person who likes to be very productive and efficient, right? But I've learned in the last few years that just kind of burns me out. And yes, I'm proud of myself, but nobody's giving me any trophies as a business owner to do that. They're, you know, people actually align better with me when they see that I'm relaxed and I'm happy, not that I'm stressed out trying to get everything done just to prove I can do it. And I've noticed those little mindful moments make a really big difference for me too. And the more I take those little moments where I'm out in nature, I might be walking along the beach or through a nice park, or I might just be outside having a cup of tea on the front porch, but I'm surrounded by trees and there's the fresh air and somebody's walking past and waving hello. Those little mindful moments, they actually help unlock my creativity. Like sometimes I'll be out there having tea outside and I'll think of a solution to a problem, or I'll think of a new piece of like content that I'm really excited to create. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't take that moment.
This is it. It's learning to switch, not actively switch the brain off even. It's just that your brain does it on its own as you take the time to enjoy something else. it switches off the part that's trying to figure something out, and in the background it gives you something else.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing. It's exactly what you just described there. I've recently joined a new membership, and the lady, and it's called the Wonder Club, and the lady running it, she did a session the other day, and it was just go and notice things and just let your brain, and you will receive just naturally from your own self, not some higher power. We're not getting all woo woo or anything like that. Just literally your own brain will be given that time to present new ideas, to look at different ways around a problem, or to say to you, do you know what? That problem is not yours to have anymore. And you can walk away from all sorts of insight just from taking a second. And it's, absolutely stuff I wouldn't have seen 3-4 years ago. Absolutely. I get to go. I'm lucky to go. It's my decision, but I feel lucky that I found friends, and we go outdoor swimming, which I feel like in Australia for you guys, this is like, but here in the UK, the weather's a little bit. We don't. It's growing in popularity, but it's still quite a newish thing. And so we go. There's a lake nearby, and we go, and it's beautiful. And the water is cold, so I know that it triggers your vagus nerve and it can stimulate all sorts of things. So I know that the health benefits are massive. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, when we are swimming, and there's two. It's a busy lake, but still there's two of us, and we're just having a little chat, and you look around and you can see a dragonfly on the water, or you look up and the clouds are just varied and huge above you, and it's just this feeling of gratitude to be able to do it, and to be able to take this half an hour just for me. There's no kids asking for a snack. There's nothing.
No one's lost anything that needs finding.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's just that gratitude of being able to do it, giving myself the choice to do it. Living up bigger life. Absolutely. It's just brilliant. Little things like that, just finding that joy has been, it's just changed the way I look at all sorts of stuff, because it's also given me a hierarchy of what's more important. And it used to be to work yourself into the ground to earn the money. If you can work overtime and get more money, brilliant, Yeah. And now it's like we've got significantly less money in the family because I gave up that bigger job.
But you've got more freedom and more happiness.
More
right?
freedom, absolutely. And we don't feel any less well off. It's not like, because you change, you spend the money you have, don't you? So we changed how we are.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're like, okay, like maybe a couple of years ago, I don't know, I can't think of a great example. Maybe we booked a holiday way quicker than we might do now. We think about it, we research it more. But there's joy in researching it. There's like, oh no, maybe we don't want to do that. We'll do this and we'll make our own little holiday. And it's cheaper, but we put the hard work in ourselves. And it's just, like life is better. Life is so much better and easier.
Yeah. And that's what
every day there's something to smile about, which is wonderful.
Yep. And that's what people say, things are either going to cost you time or cost you effort, right? But the effort doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be horrible. It can be an interesting project that you take on. If you're doing a family holiday, it can be, let's take a look at all the different, have a fun look on the websites of all the different places and try and get the best deals and, couponing and make it a puzzle that you solve. It's actually quite enjoyable. And in terms of your business, right, you're your own boss now. So that's a whole new level of freedom, but also, how do you manage that? What's that like?
Yeah, it's interesting. At first, it was very much like, well, I'll just do this and then I'll go for a walk and I can do what I want. And then, thankfully, wonderfully, I gained more clients. So obviously, I got a little bit busier. I've been really lucky in that I found some amazing communities that have taught me what I needed to know about business, because starting off in business, I had nothing. I started it because I love writing, not because I want to work out my finances or post regularly on social media. Oh my gosh, all of these things. So I found some amazing communities. And with coaches involved that were able to guide me and show me ways to show up, ways to get my name out there, starting small. So I build the confidence, because this, for example, speaking with you now, which is so lovely and so easy, and you're a joy to speak to. which is not difficult, but the idea beforehand would have petrified me and sent me into a swirl and
You're so
not
good
being
at
able to
it.
do
This
it.
is like a fun, this is a fun
Well,
chat.
I've discovered how much I love talking, which is why. But yeah, it's building up confidence. So I've been so lucky, like I say, to meet people, to have people around me who are real cheerleaders, who've been doing it for a couple of years longer than me, or even longer than that, and just are willing to share what they've learned. You know, it's not a competitive space. I know other copywriters who literally do exactly what I do in my area, and they will still share everything they know, put me in touch with people, recommend me to people. There isn't this competitive space that, you know, you got to get your elbows out and me first. There's a freedom in it, and there's, like I said, there's this sense of community. Is something I've not experienced before. The sharing of knowledge, the cheerleading for people. It's been wonderful, and I've learned from them, yes, how to manage my time better, use it effectively, but still I build it around. Apart from this morning, my husband is down at the house doing the breakfast and getting the kids off to school. But, you know, I'm able to do the school run. I'm able to turn up at school if they need me, or when there's shows on, you know, or a sporting event. Equally, as I say, I like to walk the dog. I'm going to yoga later on this morning. I'm able to make my day, design this life that I love. And then if I need to work a little bit later to make sure my clients get what I've promised them to the standard I want them to receive it in, then I can shift my working day around what I have going on, but still deliver the results that I want to give. So,
I totally agree. I take Thursdays, I do a little bit of work in the morning, and then I go to the movies with a bestie and we have lunch. And part of the appeal is the fact that we can do it in the middle of the day. Everybody else is working at school, and it's quite a magical thing. It's very, very relaxed. It doesn't mean I don't get any work done. I just shift it around. And I found that having that flexibility with my schedule is actually really handy, because there are some days, and you might relate to this, there are some days where, you know, you start your business at first and you think, okay, I'm going to work 9 to 5. I'm going to sit at my desk at 9 because my work day's officially started. I got to tell you, I love nothing more than breakfast in bed every day while I'm reading a book. I don't even think in the morning. And then, you know, I usually find I get to mid-morning and then bam, creativity kind of hits. And I'm like, great, get all my writing jobs done now. Get all my creative processes now. Or, you know, I'll have a great idea on something that I had no plans to do whatsoever. And it turns out when I create it, that's become the big thing of the quarter that actually outperforms things in my business. And I think a lot of that is contributed to the flexibility and the fact that I'm more relaxed. And
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, serving yourself has to come as a way higher priority than most of us give it. You know, we make a list of all the priorities of the day, and we'll probably put work up near the top. We'll put the washing and the cleaning the kitchen up there as well, because we have to sort things out for the family. And ourselves, we come down that list. We've got to start moving that up higher and giving ourselves that space of mind. Because they say self-care isn't just a massage. It's not just, you know, someone giving you food, but it can be so many different things. And as for you, like taking that time on a morning to have your breakfast, to read in a quiet space, and just giving that is self-care. And we don't often see that. We'd feel guilty about it. Oh, you know, I should be doing this. I should
feel lazy. But we're not lazy. We're just tapping into the creative part of our brain. It's such a powerful thing. I love it.
It is so powerful.
I love that we've met, because I'm like, great, it's not just me. I'm not just making excuses. It's working for other people too. It's a good thing to do. And I think that's why having these sorts of conversations are really important, right? Because people are out there listening who are in the first, say, 6 months of their business going, I've got to do all the things I'm seeing other people doing. And that's a lot of pressure. And I remember with my first business, when I first left corporate, I had an organizing business, organizing people's homes. I burnt out within 2 months, because I was like, I've got to fill 8 hours a day. It's manual labor. It's sorting through other people's things. I was so exhausted when I came home. I couldn't even keep my own house tidy at that point. It was just...
I bet, yeah. And you didn't want to.
No.
You didn't want to even look at yours.
It was too much. And, actually, I would love to know, what sort of advice would you give somebody who's just starting out on this journey now? If they're thinking about leaving their regular job and becoming an entrepreneur, what's the number one thing you would say to them?
So, similar to what you just said, in that, you're trying to fill your 8-hour day. I know you want to earn the money and you want that, because that's the main reason we do. Literally, the money element is huge. I get it. You can't, because there will be no other time for anything. There's in your business, there's on your business. And if you give yourself the time to sit back and get creative and look at different things, you will actually be more productive. So that is a very, very big thing that we've talked about quite a lot. But one thing is just it's learning to rely on yourself. You are stronger than you realize you are. There is a reason you took this decision. It's a huge, brave, badass decision. Not everyone does it, because it's easier to stay within the confines of a 9-to-5 job where you're given your tasks, where someone else takes the finance role, someone else does the HR role, the PR role, all those things. It is a very brave decision to do what we've done. So rely upon yourself and realize how strong you are. There will be times when it is only you, but if you can build a community, that is a huge, huge thing. That support around you, those co-workers that don't work within your business but give you that support and that chat is really brilliant. Another thing that I would say is absolutely get hold of your finances. Write down the numbers. You don't have to worry about spreadsheets and incomes and outgoings, but I've only just started really being on top of my numbers, and it's in a very, very simple way. But what it does, it parcels off the money into different little accounts, and I don't look at the accounts where it's gone. I know where it's gone. That was the wrong word. I just don't look at those accounts. And then when I need an outgoing covering or my tax comes up, it's sorted and done, so that as soon as you get paid, just move those pots of money around. There's lots of places online that offer free little courses or free spreadsheets just to help you do that. And I just think that's invaluable from the start, because it's too easy to get that first paycheck and then spend it straight away.
And then not have the money to pay for your software bills later.
Exactly. And then it's too easy to get in a mess. Just really simply sort out your finances. And I think, and again, that's given me freedom. And it sounds silly that it's another task to do, but my brain is freed up now. When I look at my accounts and I think, okay, I've got my Canva bill to pay for the year, which it's about £100. I'm like, oh no, I've got it. This is fine. It's in that account. And that is a freedom, rather than me going, okay, well, if I move that from here and I can give yourself a new way to find a little bit of freedom.
I love that. I do something similar. I have one account, you have your account where the income comes in. And at the start of my business, that was also the account that expenses would be paid from. And I was the same. I was just guessing about how much I'd need. A surprise bill would pop up. And now I have a different account that's only for money going out. Like that's for Canva subscription, Xero subscription, any other software coaching I might be doing or mentoring with somebody. That's my money. That's my operating expenses account.
Exactly.
And it's so nice to have it separate, because then you don't feel guilty about then using some of the money you're earning, because your expenses are covered. Because that's the thing, the guilt factor is there when you're running your own business. I don't want to take this money in case I need it later, but I want to support my family as well. It's really, helps a lot.
And also, you are running a business. You are amazing. If you want to treat yourself, yes, you can. And there's the money that's for you, like that. Knowing, like you say, that you're not borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, as we say. Like, so it's just, that's mine. I worked hard for that. That bit's mine. And that is brilliant. The good feeling.
And can I just say that whole, if you want to treat yourself, do it concept, that too can be magical, because the better you treat yourself, the more confident you are, the more relaxed, the more well put together you come across, like even little things like you want to upgrade your wardrobe a little bit, go for it. You want to have a little spa treatment, or just treat yourself to a bubble bath at home, whatever you want to do. If you prioritize your own needs, you come across so, like, it's like the vibrancy comes out, and that's like a magnet to your ideal client. They want that to be in that energy. They want to be in that sort of vibe that you're giving out. So it's actually good business sense to really treat yourself as a VIP.
Yeah, do you know what? I was talking to some work friends the other day, and we were saying, you know, the idea of goal setting is very much drilled into us, how important it is to set yourself goals, to work out ways to work towards them. But maybe we're not putting enough emphasis on how to celebrate when you reach those goals, and they might be tiny. You might be saying, oh, I want to regularly post on social media, which is such a big thing at the moment, isn't it? So, you know, posting that first post, learning to celebrate it. Like, what are you going to do? Is it just like, do you know what? I'm going to go and buy that chocolate bar. Or I'm going to stand for 10 minutes. But just really saying to yourself, yes, I did it. That's what I was going to do. I reached that goal. I've ticked it off. And celebrating that, because that changes your mood, it elevates your mood. You present yourself in a different way. I am a goal achiever. I smash goals. Like, that comes across, like you say, and it is attractive to other people, and it is attractive to your clients. That if you are confident and know that you are smashing your goals, people will feel that. People will recognize that.
Yeah.
And so learning to celebrate yourself is really important, I think, when you're working for yourself, because you're not going to get a bonus from the boss anymore. You're not going to get a you have to do it yourself. So practicing that every day, every week, whatever it is, looking at what went well and saying, yes, I smashed it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You're the one that's got to do that now. No one else can do it for you. So you might as well get in the habit of doing it on a regular basis and enjoying it, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, Suzanne, this has been such a nice chat. Thank you. I have loved talking about this, because I think that your approach to running a business is a really fun, light way to do it. It's a really nice departure from all of the sort of corporate-y speak you get with a lot of entrepreneurial stuff. You know, sometimes if I spend too much time on LinkedIn, I get weighed down by all of the stuff on there. And it's nice to be able to just have things feel like they're flowing nicely, or to be able to focus on yourself for a change. And I think you've done a really good job of inspiring our listeners to do that. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. That's so lovely to hear. And, you know, this has been a wonderful, joyous way to wake up on a Wednesday morning, just to come and chat to you and your sunny disposition, bringing me some. Have you got Australia sunshine today? How's your weather?
Pretty good today, although the sun's just starting to go down now. So yeah, we're heading into winter now. So
I know, it's so mad, the difference.
Yeah, and
my kids love the difference.
Australians never dress for the weather either. We don't wear coats. We don't have boots. My kids don't even carry umbrellas to school. They just go, oh, if it rains, it rains. I'll get wet.
I love that, though. I love that. Go for it.
I know. They live in the moment and they love it. Oh, before we go, though, I do want to let people know you've got a really good resource to share with them, right? On talking to ideal clients. Do you want to share it?
I do. Yeah. So that's one thing that I think is really important in what I do. One of the first questions I ask my clients: who is it you're speaking to? Who is your target audience, your potential client? And it's not always that easy to define for people. That they might say, well, it's people who want my service, literally that. But it's important to sort of create an image of that person in your mind. So what I've done is put together a really simple worksheet which helps you go through, identify who you're talking to through not just demographics, but what they believe in, where they hang out, who they follow, what they're inspired by. So yeah, if you could share that, that would be brilliant. I'd love people to take a look.
Absolutely. I'll make sure we've got a link in the show notes for that. And if anybody wants to chat with you, what's the best place they can find you? Should they go to social media or website? Where do you hang out online?
I mean, either or. I do love a bit of Instagram, the beauty of Instagram, but I know it's not real. But yes, you can find me on Suzanne Frear _ at Instagram. And also, yes, I do have a website, which again is suzannefrear.co.uk. So really simple to look up.
Nice and easy to remember. That's how we like things here. Nice and easy. And I'll put some links as well.
So on brand.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed listening in today. It's been such a really nice, and this whole conversation has felt really sunny and happy. And I just really want everybody to take that with them throughout the rest of your day today, because you started your business because you love what you do. You started your business because you want to help make a positive change in the world. Let's embrace that in how we approach running and growing our businesses as well, and our everyday lives, and role model that to our loved ones, because it's such a good way to change the world for the better, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree entirely.
So I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Simpler Business Podcast. If you did, please subscribe, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to make it nice and easy for you, just the way we like it. If you're ready to simplify and scale your business, you can get started with my free audio class at marissaroberts.com. See you next time.